Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the LWN Network. Before we get into the show, I just want to welcome you and say happy Monday, April 14th, 2025. It is the start of another week here for the year in April, and I hope everybody had a fabulous weekend, that you got some time to enjoy yourselves and get some things done. I know that it's getting nice outside in a lot of places, and it's just wonderful to be able to get out in nature and garden or plant, or maybe you're taking pictures, videos, and just enjoying the fresh, beautiful air. I spent the weekend cleaning up and stuff in my yard, and it was a good feeling, a lot of good hard work. We do have definite stories that are going to kind of turn your stomach, a couple of them. So I want to warn you ahead of time. The first one with it being Fauchi, then also the Disney one. So if you do have children in the room, you might want to make them leave the room, or, turn the volume down at least, so they aren't subjected to those two stories. So we are going to go ahead and get right into headline hits right after this short little video. And here it is. It's the big story of our Monday to start our Monday, you guys. And it is talking about what a lot of us have been waiting for, especially now that we have all the facts out about COVID, the shots, all the side effects of the shots mandated on us by that previous administration. But Fauci, Birx, Walensky, and other top COVID officials face criminal referral requests in 7 states for alleged murder and medical terrorism. You heard that right. Criminal referral requests have been formally filed in 7 United States, including Arizona and Pennsylvania, being the latest, accusing Fauci and others of heinous crimes, including murder, medical coercion, and even terrorism stemming from their COVID-era policies and decisions. Arizona and Pennsylvania have joined Florida, Texas, Louisiana, Missouri, and Oklahoma. The Birx Law Group and the former Feds group Freedom Foundation submitted the explosive referrals this last week, urging state attorneys general to pursue criminal investigations into Fauci and his pandemic-era cohorts. These filings represent a growing grassroots and legal effort to hold COVID-19 demanders accountable for the damage wrought by deadly hospital protocols. We talked about that for years. We interviewed different nurses and doctors on the LWN network regarding this. Also, the suppression of early treatments and the coercive push for experimental vaccines. And we all know we were pressured to get them. We were the ones that if we didn't get them, that we were spreading the disease, remember? The list of individuals, and some of them included in this, are, of course, Dr. Fauci, Dr. Birx, we talked about, also the former CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, the former NIH director, Francis Collins, the deputy director of the NIAID, Cliff Lane, and many, many others. We also have Robert Redfield, the former CDC director, former BARDA director, Rick Bright, and many more. So also hospital administrators and care providers across Arizona and Pennsylvania. The referral letters outline a jaw-dropping list of charges. So listen to these charges. And they're also, like I said, holding hospital administrators and care providers across Arizona and Pennsylvania on this. The charges include murder, negligent homicide, involuntary manslaughter, medical coercion and abuse, kidnapping, human trafficking for forced labor, racketeering, operating a corrupt organization, terrorism. And you can find actually the previous filing that was before this one on the Birx Law Group website. In February 17, state attorneys general formally requested aid from Republican congressional leaders to investigate the origins of COVID-19 and explore possible legal actions against Dr. Anthony Fauci at the state level. This concerted effort, spearheaded by South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson aims to circumvent the preemptive pardon issued by Joe Biden on his last day in office, which sought to shield Fauchi from federal prosecution. The state attorneys general emphasized that the federal pardon does not preclude state-level legal actions and are actively seeking further details from Congress to facilitate state investigations and potential prosecutions. So this is something that we have been waiting for. We have found out all the side effects, all the bad things that happened over the years to our friends, family, and loved ones. We're seeing the results of all those multiple shots that were forced upon a lot of people because they would lost their job if they didn't take them. And hopefully justice will be served. Those are serious, serious accusations and serious charges these people are facing. Next up, we have Trump just turned the border into a military zone. And what difference between Trump and Biden? The President Trump just authorized the U.S. military to take control of federal land along the southern border. What that means is it's 60 feet wide, stretching across California, Arizona, New Mexico, known as the Roosevelt Reservation. But this time, it's not just defense, it's an actual military operation. And what that means is military-grade surveillance, military enforcement rules, restricted access like a U.S. base, illegals crossing the border. They're now going to be trespassers on military property, subject to military security protocols, no sanctuary, no loopholes, no games. So for the first time in modern history, the U.S. border is becoming secured military zone. And the message from Trump is crystal clear. This is our land, this is our border, and this is our country. While Biden let the cartel pipelines flourish, while Mayorkas left the gates wide open, Trump just dropped a hammer. America first, military enforced, border secured. Looking at all the videos and images, it feels amazing to look at them and know that this president is putting America first, and those families living along that border, you guys, can now breathe a bit better, know that the legals that are coming in and criminals are no longer allowed here. They aren't welcome, and they're getting them out. And Trump ended the statement with saying the invasion ends now. So big difference in the military presence that there was none really in the last administration. But that is a big, strong move, a positive move for we the Americans and the United States of America here. Next up, Trump and Bill Maher did dinner and had a conversation recently due to Bill and Trump's personal friend, Kid Rock. Not a fan of Bill, but kudos to him for at least having a conversation. This is where change can begin, when everybody can converse instead of just name call and, spew out the same talking points over and over against another person. Bill Maher said that during his conversation with President Trump, they agreed that neither of them liked the people who don't even want to talk, and added that don't talk as opposed to what? Writing the same editorial for the millionth time and making 25 speeches into the wind. Really? That's what all liberals have. We need to have conversations. Now, Maher said that he doesn't like a lot of Trump's ideas and doesn't think it changed his mind on anything, but he added, MAGA fans, don't worry, your boy gave me nothing, just hats. Hats and a very generous amount of time and a willingness to listen and accept me as a possible friend, even though I'm not MAGA, which was the point of our dinner. My favorite part of the whole night was I heard a lot from people who really liked that we're having this dinner. Not all, but a lot. And I said the same. A lot of people told me they loved it, but not every one of them. Bill also stated that the president was gracious and measured. He stated the president laughs even at himself, and he is not fake. He said that he's been a comedian for over 40 years, that he knows a fake laugh when he sees it and he hears it. He said there was no pressure on him to turn MAGA from the president. And Bill actually brought along a piece of paper that listed nearly 60 different insults Trump hurled at Maher over the years, ranging from dummy to sick to really dumb guy. And he actually asked Trump to sign it. In closing, Bill said that the president was much more self-aware that he lets on in public, and he was impressed by that. So even if you like him or not, it's nice to know that people are coming to the table and they're willing to have a conversation and not believe just things that are being said, trash that is being said about people out there. I always say it's always better when you can meet somebody in person and you get to know them better. If you just kind of bury your head in the sand of headlines on whatever side you're looking to get your information from, you're never going to have the full information. Conversation face to face is the way to go, and I was really impressed by that. Next up, we have the Disney story. So Disney is facing a lot of backlash for the event that they are having. It's called the Disneyland After Dark Pride Night, stating, experience a joyous after-hours event at Disneyland Park, June 16th and 18th, celebrating the diversity that makes us unique. Save the date. The Magic Key holders will have the opportunity to purchase from a select amount of pre-sale tickets ahead of the general public general admission tickets that go on sale the 17th. Tickets are $169 per guest for ages 3+. So note here, it's 3+, children involved in this after-hours Disneyland Pride event. Children and infants, toddlers, babies under 2 years old do not have to have a ticket. So only kids 3 and up have to have the ticket. There are many opinions regarding an event like this involving babies and underage children. Some have sworn off Disney from this point on. Others are calling the company groomers. Eddie Shapiro, the organizer of Gay Days Anaheim, states that in the wake of everything happening to the country and Disney coming out in support of the community in this way is a great thing. Many have also stated Disney went from a family-oriented organization to going woke. The event is going to include pride-themed performers, pride flags, and they suggest you step out in style to proudly display your true colors and be your own unique and true, beautiful self, fabulous self. So I don't know how you feel about it, but we have talked before, and I'm an advocate for people to do what they want to do as adults. That's their right. But when you have children, that is influencing them. When they see nothing that is themed other than pride themed with the different people dressed up, male as female, and it goes on. And that is kind of a grooming thing in my perspective. That's my thoughts. You may not agree, but I don't think that it is necessary, one, to have that expensive of tickets, two, to have 3-year-olds paying for that, parents paying for that. It seems crazy. It's after dark. Nothing about it seems comfortable and family-friendly Disney-like, in my opinion. Next up, we have the president of Salvador, Nayib Bukele, I think, or Bukele, has officially landed in the United States, and he plans to meet with the president at the White House today. President Trump stated over the weekend, looking forward to seeing the president of El Salvador. Our nations are working closely together to eradicate terrorist organizations and build a future of prosperity. Bukele has graciously accepted in his nation's custody of some of the most violent alien enemies of the world, and in particular, the United States of America. These barbarians are now in the sole custody of El Salvador, a proud and sovereign nation, and their future is up to President B and his government. They will never threaten or menace the United States citizens again, Trump stated. And then Trump also came out this weekend, talked about G20, saying, how could we expected to go to South Africa for the very important G20 meeting when the land confiscation and genocide is the primary topic of conversation? They are taking the land of white farmers and then killing them and their families, and the media refuses to report on this in the United States. The United States has held back all contributions to South Africa, and this is where we want to be for G20? I don't think so. And then he posted a video of them ranting and raving about how it is their right to just steal and take away the land from the white farmers. So some strong words from President Trump there, and some transparency on what is really going on for G20 and why we aren't there. The latest on Russia and U.S. negotiations did wrap up Friday as well. The U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff wrapped up his latest talk with the Russian President Putin. President Trump urged Vladimir Putin to move quicker to end what he said was this country's senseless war with Ukraine. Trump has been pressing Moscow and Kiev to agree to a ceasefire, but he has failed to extract any major concessions from the Kremlin despite repeated negotiations between Russian and U.S. officials. And the president did say he was peed off at the last month regarding the no ceasefire. Trump said Russia has to get moving. There is no real progress as of now, and we'll keep an eye out for any future negotiations that occur. And then latest on the tariffs that the president put into effect. The National Economic Council Director, Kevin Hassett, said in an interview over the weekend that the Trump administration is taking or talking with 130 countries regarding trade policy. So that is fabulous news. That's a lot of countries. Later stating we are far too dependent on foreign products. I think we can all agree on that in the United States, especially if we are in a time of conflict and we are doing something about that. So some positive movement there regarding the tariffs and the countries that are, negotiating with us about the trade policy. And then a couple of interesting and or funny notes. If you didn't catch this, a Michigan governor, Gretchen Whitmer, was in the Oval Office visiting President Trump, and she was caught hiding her face behind some binders, trying to go unnoticed. The pictures are funny and actually only fueled more attention of her being there. The New York Times actually put out a headline about this that read, "Whitmer shows how Democrats are playing with fire, cozying up to Trump." It is so ridiculous, all of it. Shouldn't they all representatives, every one of them trying to work with the president? So I thought it was funny that the New York Times thought they should put a headline out there about that. Then we also have Senator Bernie Sanders was out speaking about the size of his crowds at his recent events with Alexandria Cortez. They've been doing events together. He was actually bragging, saying that is leaving President Trump and JD Vance feeling quite nervous about the amount of people that they are getting at these events. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then we have President Trump did make an epic entrance into the UFC 314 in Miami over the weekend. The crowd was loud and they erupted into chanting USA, USA. And he also had a standing ovation, which is a big deal. He made his way into the arena, shaking hands. People were, had their fists up like fight, 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 and really happy and excited to see our president show up at that event. And then the last story of the day, President Trump did have a physical and published the results, unlike the previous president we had. So since his first term, Trump has lost 20 pounds, and White House physician Navy Captain Sean Barbarella said that he is fully fit to serve as commander in chief. He is 6'4" or 6'3". Don't want to exaggerate that by an inch. 224 pounds. His mental score was 30 over 30. He basically aced it. At 78, his blood pressure is 128 over 74. So all this is good to know. Isn't it good to know? This is transparency with our president. It amazes me because we know that his endurance is there, his intelligence is there, that he can give speeches and he can go off the cuff and he can talk so much, so long about so many subjects to different people just off the cuff. He's given so many pressers with reporters. He's even given spontaneous pressers on Air Force One as they travel. He is completely transparent. And it's good to know that he put that out there and he's doing so well. Not that I doubted that, because my energy is not even the same as his. My intellect is nowhere near the same as his, trying to garner all this information that he deals with on a daily basis. And to me, it's highly impressive. And it's a wonderful thing to see. So that's what I have for you this Monday for Headline Hits, you guys. It is definitely a Monday. I actually got a ban on Truth Social. Speaking of Trump, I don't know how. I posted what I posted for the thumbnail today for the show, like I always do. And immediately after I posted that, I got a message that said that I was banned. So I can't even get into my Truth Social account. I did appeal it already. So hopefully it was just one of those automatic robots or those whatever they are making a mistake, because I don't understand how I would get banned from a platform of a person that I really respect so much. So I get to work on that for my Monday. Other than that, you guys have a great, wonderful day, and I will see you back here tomorrow on the LWN network at noon Eastern Standard Time for another Headline Hits, bringing it to you guys. Take care. God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.